There's a chateau where Napoleon's heir got married. Has the type of rural charm that you might expect, not the 1,900 rooms of Fontainebleau chateau itself, and it doesn't have the pedigree of nearby Chateau de vaux-le-Vicomte that predates both Fontainebleau and a practice for the monumental Chateau de Versailles. So beautiful is it, in fact, that you know how it goes. You invite a friend round to your house for a housewarming party, and they're so impressed by the luxury and beauty that they're jealous. They become enraged, and they promptly place you behind bars and engage your architect, artist and gardener to create something even grander. That's how Versailles came about. Chateau Fontainebleau had started as a fortress of Louis VII in 1137. It was added to in 1528, decorated in the School of Fontainebleau style, a combination of frescoes surrounded by a riot of willowy stucco figures. It's supposed to be a comfortable stay while you're hunting deer and boar in the forest, or to wait for Versailles to be built. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but between 1812 and 1814 it was a golden prison for Pope Pius VII. At the time of the French Revolution in 1789, it didn't really suffer the same fate as Versailles, and Napoleon Bonaparte was able to use it as his only throne room, and where he said goodbye before he went off to Elba. The horseshoe staircase is the cour d'adieu, the farewell courtyard. Outside, as well as the hunting forest, the formal gardens as well, there's also the ornamental canal, which predates any of its architectural rivals, vaux-le-Vicomte, Versailles and Chantilly. But it's the Jeu de Paume that's truly precious, a real tennis court, the only historic one in France that's still in use. Almost more like squash than tennis. But while we're on my favourite subject, gourmet visit to Fontainebleau doesn't disappoint. The town, not the historic chateau. But don't forget Rosa Bonheur. Rosa was an animal painter. Perhaps her most famous work, The Horse Fair in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. She got expelled from school a few times and failed her seamstress apprenticeship. Her father did landscapes and portraits, so she was also encouraged in this. They were a family of Jewish origin, though the Bonheur family adhered to Saint Simonianism, a Christian socialist sect that promoted the education of women alongside men. Bonheur's siblings were also painters and sculptors. They were used as an example of eponymous hereditary genius, though Rosa had had a difficult time learning to read, though sketching before she could talk. She was taught to draw a different animal for each letter of the alphabet. Then the wild and domesticated animals of the Bois de Boulogne of Paris, which was pasture then. Then at 14, copying paintings in the Louvre, alongside pictorial studies of anatomy in the abattoirs, extending that to dissection. She got an agent, and the agent took her to London, Edwardian Britain, where she had many engravings of her work made, and her success enabled her to move to her chateau at Fontainebleau. Chateau de Baille, not the Chateau Fontainebleau. She helped open doors for women artists. Rosa Bonheur was known for wearing men's clothing, practical for working with animals, though her first partner, napoleon, for 40 years, and after her death, Anna Elizabeth Klondike. This was at a time when lesbianism was regarded as animalistic and deranged by most French officials. Bonheur's outspokenness about her personal life was groundbreaking. It was a world where gender expression was policed. She referred to herself as a grandson or a brother, associating herself with that power and freedom. She cut her hair short and chain-smoked, all the stereotypes of the day. Though never explicitly saying she was a lesbian, it was obvious by the way she talked about her female partner. For 200 years, until 2013, women in France had to have permission from the police to wear trousers. Though World War I stopped that enforcement. She enjoyed hunting. She viewed men as stupid and mentioned that the only males she had time or attention for were the bulls she painted. Her womanhood was something far superior. She was never to become an adjunct or an appendage. Her female partners focused on home life. Rosa, the breadwinner. She died at 77 in 1899, buried in Père Lachaise cemetery with her 2 consecutive partners. Friendship is divine affection. Her talents respected by establishment and the French government. Some of her critics entirely forgotten and rarely dragged out from oblivion. Many a guinguette has taken her name, similar to a goguette. This is a popular tavern in the suburbs of Paris, a type rather than a particular place. It takes its name from the type of cheap green wine that they sell. Vincent van Gogh and Auguste Renoir have painted them. We're sadly now again familiar with customs at border control. This used to be the case at city limits. Commodities, particularly alcohol, consumed outside the customs barrier of the city were considerably cheaper. Being exempt from state taxes, this encouraged the growth of an entertainment industry just beyond the taxman's reach, and a network of drinking establishments ringed the city of Paris, especially popular on Sundays and holidays. A guinguette nowadays more refers to a waterside refreshment stand in the open air. The new trains enabled them to become popular, especially during the Année Folle, the folly years of the 1920s. Folly didn't really mean folly as we know it today. It's only as we know it today. Those crazy fun times, in contrast, almost brought about the First World War guilt. 1960s ban on bathing in rivers caused a decline of these guinguettes, with water quality deteriorating. Hygiene became an issue and nostalgia was developed. As they were in almost complete decline in the 1980s, 2008, much less so, taking the name of the feminist painter, there's Rosa Hussein, Rosa à l'Ouest, Rosa la Est, that one at the Chalet de la Porte Jean in the Bois de Vincennes, the only one I know. There's one in Butte Chalmont, in Validis, and Lassanière sur Seine. Her chateau that her success brought her has the type of rural charm that you might expect, not the 1,900 rooms of Fontainebleau chateau itself, and it doesn't have the pedigree of nearby Chateau de vaux-le-Vicomte that predates both Fontainebleau and a practice for the monumental Chateau de Versailles.